Hey everyone, the end of March is here, so it's time to count up all of our completed savings challenges and let's see how much we were able to save for the month. If you are new here, my name is Laura. I'm a teacher, a mom, a budgeter. We use a zero-based budgeting system, sinking funds and savings challenges to help us reach our goals. I also primarily work with prop money in my budgeting systems. So if these are things that interest you, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you along on this journey with me. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look what we saved for March. I know our numbers are not going to be earth-shattering here because I definitely was not fully consistent in the month of March, but we're still going to count it up and we're going to see what progress we made. So I've got my savings challenge tracker here for 2025 that we completed for January and February. So we're going to go ahead and fill in our totals for each category of savings challenges that we complete, and then we'll come up with our grand total in the end here as well. So these challenges over here are primarily my monthly savings challenges as well as any tinies. So let's go ahead and grab my Mini Monday completed challenges and my Freebie Fridays, and let's go ahead and start there. So my Mini Monday and my Freebie Friday challenges, I do stuff right away. So the challenges that are completed, I just store in the back here through the course of the month. So let's go ahead and grab and see what we were able to save. For our first, we'll do our Mini Mondays, and then we'll go ahead and check out our Freebie Fridays. Okay, I got my handy dandy calculator here, so let's go ahead and give this a count. So we've got $12 here. This is a challenge from Melissa Manages. We got a lot of winter challenges here. My next one was another $12 here from Lils at Lils World 733 and Joe at CB8 Mom Saves. And then my next one here was a collab, $25 that I used for my Mini Monday. This was a challenge created by Sarah Saves 07. It was a collab with Valerie at Cash Budget Retiree, Susan at Windmill Ridge Budgets, and myself. So we're at $49. And then this one here was $15, and this was a 600 thank you freebie from Joe over at CBA Mom Saves. That gives us a total of $64 for our Mini Mondays in March. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in. And isn't that ironic? That is the same total that I saved for January. That's crazy. What are the odds of that happening? That is wild. So $64, and that money does get reallocated right away when the challenges are complete. So I don't need to worry about reallocating that money anywhere because it has already been done. Same thing here with my Freebie Friday challenges. So this money has already been reallocated into those sinking funds. So if you haven't seen my systems, if you check out my Mini Monday video or my Freebie Friday video, when I complete those challenges, I do go ahead and reallocate that money right away because those are separate savings accounts that are connected to our checking accounts, and they are short-term sinking funds, so we use that money a lot more frequently. So let's take a look at our Freebie Friday challenges here that we completed, and we'll give this a count. So speaking of that collab from Mini Mondays, this was one that I used on my Freebie Friday videos. It was $15, and this was created by Susan at Windmill Ridge Budgets. And then that same collab here, I had them spread out through the course of early 2025. This is a $20, and this was also created by Sarah at Sarah Saves 07. And then I've got one here from Buttercup Budgets, Natalie, and this is a $28. So that gives us a total of $63 for our Freebie Fridays. And wow, that surprises me that we actually saved the most in March for Freebie Fridays than we did in the previous months, and yet I wasn't totally consistent with completing my savings challenges through the month. That's pretty crazy, but that's also super motivating to know that even though I took some time off, that I still was to make such great progress. All right, we're going to put these ones off to the side, and we'll put this binder away, and we'll see what we're able to save in April through the month. Let's go ahead and take a look at these challenges here. These are primarily my monthly challenges with my monthly theme, and this money is going to be reallocated into different categories. I think I do have a tiny in here. Yes, I do. I've got one lonely little tiny that I completed in the month, and it was $9, and it's going towards holidays, and this challenge was from Lils World 733. So I'm going to go ahead and write $9 here. That is quite a decrease from my previous months, but that is okay. So not only do I like to see what I saved for my tinies and my Mini Mondays and Freebie Fridays, but I also like to have a total for what I saved for my monthly challenges. So before we reallocate, let's go ahead and give these a count. So I've got a challenge here from myself, TeacherMomBudgets. All of these are very St. Patrick's Day themed. That's $20 here. I've got an $8. This was a challenge from Haley Rain. And then I've got the traditional dollar for $14. Again, all St. Patrick's Day theme with my theme, Shamrock in my savings. I've got a $12 here for this one. This one looks like it's $9 going to vehicles. We've got a $10 here. This is Natalie over at Buttercup Budgets. We've got one here from Budget with Amanda for $16 and $14 here. And this challenge is from Happy to Save with Hannah. And then I've got a Sarah Saves 07, and this one saved us $16. And next up here, I've got a challenge from Ellie on Earth that saved us $12. And lastly, Madeline Budgets that saved us $13. So that gives us a total here of $144. I'm going to do just a quick check and make sure that that is accurate. So that is in fact right. I got $144 again when I rechecked it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that off. You might have noticed that some of those challenges actually weren't fully complete, like this one, for example, and there's a couple others as well. Because with my monthly challenges, I have my monthly theme. And so my last week of savings with those challenges, I go ahead and just close them out and I finish it even though I'm not fully completing the challenge, because I always like to start new with a new theme and new challenges for the new month. I did not have any Letterbucks challenges that were completed for the month. I do have a column here for group plays and games. Hopefully we'll be able to add something in that column for April here. I also need to add maybe a collabs column as well, as I've kind of shifted things a little bit, and that's okay. We have no other. So let's give this a grand total here. So 64 plus 9 plus 63 plus 144. That gives us a total of $280. And you know what? Considering that I was not totally consistent with my savings challenges through the course of the month, I'm definitely okay with $280. January was a big month for us. We finished quite a bit. And then this month, again, not being fully consistent with savings challenges, I'm actually kind of surprised that we still saved $280. So that is awesome. So now we need to reallocate this money into our sinking funds. So all of this money here from my tiny wins and my monthly challenges, this money sits in a category in our high yield savings account that's just designated for savings challenges. And I always write what category this money is going to. So now I need to figure out and separate this money into those categories so that I know where I need to transfer that money from my savings challenge category into the others. And then also we can make decisions on what sinking funds we're going to put them towards within those categories. So I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side here, and then okay, so I've got my cash tray here, and I've got these little cards here to help me stay organized with the different categories that this money is going towards. I also have my little cheat sheet here that we're going to record what money is going into each category, and then I use this to make those transfers from my savings challenge category into these other categories. So let's go ahead and start here. We've got $20 that's going to be going to holidays. So we're going to put that here in the holidays, and I'm going to just kind of keep a running total here of what's happening for each of these categories. My next one here is going to go to vehicles, $8 here to vehicles. I should probably check and make sure that I do in fact have that. So $8 here. Let's make sure that this is 20, 5, 10, 15, and 20. It is. My next one here, I've got $14. That's going to be going to travel, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Travel should be in the back. It is. And let's go ahead and put $14 there. And I've got $12 going to family, 5, 10, 11, and 12. That goes in front. Let's write 12. And then we've got $9 going into vehicles, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And vehicles is here. So $9, another $9 into vehicles. $10 that's going into travel, 5 and 10. That should be in the back. And it is. So I have one slot here, my emergency funds, that's going to be in the back there. So $10 going to travel. I need an 8 slotted cash tray, not 7. Next one here is $16 for pets. 5, 10, 15, and 16 going into pets. $16. And I've got $14 that's going to be going to family. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. That's in front. $14. And we've got $16. Yay, emergency is getting something. 5, 10, 15, and 16. That goes in the back there. What hasn't gotten any love yet? Education and home. I know there's something there for both of those. Okay, here's our home. We've got $12, 5, 10, 11, and 12. So our home category goes right there, $12. And here's education. We've got 13 going there, 5, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Put that in the 13 on here. And then our tiny for holidays, that's $9, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So holidays here, make sure I don't get confused. There it is, holidays, and we've got $9. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just total and make sure that I know how much in each category. I am in fact gonna go ahead and put into each of these categories. So we got 26, this is gonna be 16. $13 will be transferred, 20 and 9, so that's $29. We got 12 here for home, 8 and 9, that's going to be 17, 24 for travel, and then 16 here for emergencies. I'm going to go ahead and total these up because it should match then my total that I can figure out here on my savings challenge tracker as well. So let's see, we've got 26 plus 16, 13, 29, 12, 17, 24, and 16. So this is going to be $153 that we're going to be transferring from our savings challenge category into these other categories in our high yield savings account. Now the way I can check this here is I can take a look at my tracker here again, and I know that it's my tiny wins and my monthly challenges that make up this number. So let's see, 144 plus $9, 153. So everything is matching. So I know I'm right on track. Because my mini Mondays and my Freebie Fridays get reallocated into another bank account, it's that savings account that's connected to those checking accounts. This is the money that resides in our high yield savings account. So everything is matching, which is great news. So $153 here that'll be transferred out of our savings challenge category into each of these separate categories. And now let's figure out where we're going to put this money in those sinking funds within the categories. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way and bring in my binders here that house the prop money for these categories. Okay, here we go. We're going to be starting off with my family category. So we're going to go right in order here. And we should have $26. Let's see, make sure it's organized, and we'll give it a count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. We do. I think we're going to go ahead. So you'll notice here, I've got each category separated in these binders. And again, it's all prop money. So this prop money represents the money that's in our high yield savings account. But within each category, I love having the separate envelopes to also tell me specifically what money is in each of these different categories that we have designated within our bigger category of family. So I've got a couple of envelopes here, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to put all this money towards summer school and camps because I know we have some stuff that is coming up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, let's add that in. We do have some money in here already, so let's give this a count. We got 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 86. That is awesome because I know we are going to have some registrations coming up for some summer camps and activities that our kids want to do. So that's going to finish our family category, which gets us into our pets category. And within our pets category in our high yield savings account, I have these separate envelopes that separate different areas of savings that we would like to do for our pets, but all of the money in these envelopes in my pets category will equal the amount that I see when I look in my account for this category in my high yield savings account. I do have a video that goes through like all of my binders and all of my envelopes if you're interested. I'll try to kind of link it here, or I'll link it in the description down below, and to hopefully answer any questions that you might have. But if you do have questions as well, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. So we have $16 here that should be going into pets. 5, 10, 15, and 16 we do. So I think we're going to go ahead and add this money to, let's see, vet visits, dog care, and this is dog care that we need when we go on vacation or we are away for an extended period of time and we need someone to help out with our pups. We're going to add that $16 to here. So now we have 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, and 57. So that is great. Nice little boost there for this envelope. That is something that we'll need, I know, this summer. All right, moving right along to our education category. I already know where this money is going. We've got $13, 5, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And this is definitely going to school registration fees. We definitely have to take care of this still. We've got a little bit of time, but we're going to go ahead and take care of our other registration fees. So one of our kids is covered, but we do have to pay another registration fee for our other daughter. So we now have 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. So we had more in this previously at the end of February, but like I said, we did pay one registration fee for one of our kiddos, and so now we're saving up here to go ahead and take care of the second. They were a little bit on different timelines because one is a new registration and one is just a continuation. Okay, and so that's going to do it for this binder fully. We're going to go to our next one here and start off with holidays. And we've got $29 that's going into holidays. Let's give it a count here and make sure we do. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. I know exactly where this is going. We're going to throw it all in Easter because that is coming up. I have spent a little bit of money already that I've pulled from here, but we're going to add the rest of it here. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49. That should help. And actually, that might be enough to go ahead and finish what we need to do for Easter, so that's awesome. And then we'll go ahead and skip in the back towards our home category in our high yield savings account. We have a lot of different categories there, and we have, let's see, $12, 5, 10, 11, and 12. So we're going to go ahead. HOA fees is good. This is one that we stuff continuously each pay period. So some of these sinking funds definitely get love every pay period. No matter what, they're non-negotiables. They get a set amount because we need to make sure that we're prepared when those due dates come. Other categories, we just kind of fill with these savings challenges. So there's not necessarily like a deadline associated with it, but something that we want to continue to save for. So I think, home repairs or outdoor. You know what, let's go ahead and just add it to home repairs. If you saw my Freebie Friday video, you might have heard that we needed to purchase a new toilet. And though we have a category in our savings account that's connected to our checking account for home maintenance type things that are kind of not quite huge expenses, I don't know if we quite have enough to cover that toilet. So we might have to dip into here. So now this envelope has 20, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, and 55. So we should be good now. The joys of home ownership when you need to replace a toilet. And now if we don't have enough in that smaller short-term sinking fund, we can definitely come over here and I think finish it up. So next, that's going to do it for this binder. We've got one more binder here that will start with vehicles and save. So we've got $17 here, it looks like, for vehicles. Let's give it a count. So we've got 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. We do. Let's see, registration renewals, lease, car repairs, driver's ed. Let's see, registration renewals we do save continuously, so I don't think we need to add anything. Let's do car repairs. We do have a smaller short-term sinking fund that we use in our other account for like oil changes and things, but I'd like to have some money in here. And again, it's a drop in the bucket. Like if there was something majorly that did go wrong, $17 isn't going to go very far, right? But I love to make just these little progress increases here and there, and we do have an emergency fund that you'll see in a little bit, but at least this kind of helps us move forward a little bit. Small wins. I'm very motivated by small wins. So $17, not going to go far if we really needed it, but it's something that I hopefully can make grow. And next up here, it's vacations here, it's travel on my other card here. I need to change my dashboard, but we have $24, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And this is automatically going into family travel. I know that because I know we are planning to go just on a little getaway this summer when we can find some time when the kids don't have activities and we don't have work commitments and things like that here. So we got 100, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36, 136. We don't have anything big on the horizon in terms of family travel, but like I said, just a quick little getaway, and so that's going to help continue to increase what we need for that. And last but not least here, we do have our emergencies category, and so in our emergencies category, we do have a couple of separate different envelopes for that. We split our emergency funds, so we've got an envelope for pet emergencies, an envelope for home emergencies, for car emergencies. We're working on hopefully building $1,000 into our main emergency fund, and then we have an envelope for a month ahead and just our general main emergency fund. So I do have a separate $1,000 one because this is kind of a separate goal that we'd like to attain, and then we can move it into our main emergency fund. That's kind of one thing I love about having these envelopes within the category. So this is my overall category. I can see the total in my high yield savings account, but then these envelopes let me know like this is specifically dedicated to pet emergencies. This is specifically dedicated to home emergencies. But truth be told, if we needed to, we didn't quite have enough in our pet emergency fund and we had to dip dip into our main emergency fund, we could still interchange and use that money as we need to. So it's nice to have it separated because these are individual goals that I want to work on, but it's also that peace of mind that like we could use money from other envelopes if we needed to. So we have $16 here. So let's go ahead. We're going to split this up. We're going to add 5 to our pet emergency fund because we want to keep building this. 100, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. We do have one of our pups here is getting a little bit older, and so we want to make sure that we're prepared if anything does happen. We're going to add 5 to home. I think I did this last time. So now it has $10 in our home emergency fund. A drop in the bucket, right? Not something that is super huge in gains, but it's making progress. We're going to go ahead and put 5 in car emergency fund. Yeah, we will. We'll go ahead and put 5 in car emergency fund, and then that leaves a lonely dollar that's going to go to our $1,000 emergency fund. That I want to definitely work on this over the summer, kind of really focus on this, but for right now we'll just add the dollar. We've got 51, 2, 3, 4, and 5, $55. Again, small amount there that is going towards a larger goal. Will we get to $1,000 by the end of the year? Maybe, maybe not. I'd love to. And again, over the summer, we'll be able to make some more headway in this category as well. But it's a goal that I'd love to attain so that we can move it into our main emergency fund that we have here. So that's going to do it for my reallocation of my completed monthly savings challenges for March. I have to admit, I am pretty pleased with the savings for March because I know I wasn't consistent. There was just a lot going on. I got a little bit overwhelmed in terms of commitments and life in general. And so I wasn't keeping up as I would like to in the consistency of savings challenges. So $153 that are going into those other categories, I'm totally okay with that. Some months it might not be much. Other months it might be bigger totals, but regardless, it's something. It is still progress. I still put $153 towards these goals that I have in these envelopes, and that's a win for me. Is it a huge number? No, but it's a win for me for sure. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would do so. Again, if you have any questions about my systems, definitely leave those in the comments as well. I'd be happy to answer anything. I know that working with prop money might be a little confusing, and I know that with all of my kind of systems in terms of my organization might also be a little confusing as well. It works for my brain, but it might not transfer and be clear to others, and I understand that. So definitely let me know if there are questions. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, be well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.